Yes, students, welcome back to the class. In second session, in this, we will talk about the company rule, expense, and war with the Marathas, the British paramount power, the doctrine of lapse, setting up a new administration, and the company army. Half of the chapter was already completed in the previous slides. Now we will talk about the company rule expense. How company rule was expanded. East India Company had a different way of expanding its rule in India. First of all, it rarely launched a direct military attack on any Indian territory. They mostly use a variety of political and economic method to extend its influence. For instance, it appointed residents in the states of India after the Battle of Buxar. Now, residents were the political agents of the Britishers who served the interest of the company. Through that, the company started interfering in the internal matters of the Indian states. One such interference was subsidiary alliance. According to this, Indian rulers were not allowed to have their independent armed forces. They have to pay companies, army, and pay their maintenance. If they failed to do so, means कभी भूल जाते हैं, so the part of their territory was taken away as the penalty by the Britishers. Then another thing about the Tipu Sultan. About the Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan is also known as the Tiger of Mysore. Mysore was the territory in the southern India under Hyder Ali. Tipu Sultan was his son and he was a very strong ruler in South India, especially in the state of Mysore. He was also known as the Tiger of Mysore, as there was an interesting story in this regard. It goes on like that. Once Tipu fought with the tiger unarmed and killed the tiger, due to which he got this title. In 1785, Tipu controlled the trade of Malabar coast and stopped the export of pepper, sandalwood, cardamom from his port. He also stopped local merchants to deal with the Britishers and he modernized his army also. Britishers became furious and tried to suppress the power of the Mysore. For this, four Carnatic wars were fought between the Britishers and Mysore. Tipu was killed in the War of 1799 at Sringeri Pattanam. Now, Wadeyars became the king of Mysore with the condition of subsidiary alliance. After the problem of Mysore was sorted off, a new problem arose, the Marathas. The Britishers also, because in the western coast, Maratha was giving them the tough competitions. तो a war with Marathas. In late 18th century, the company started in late 18th century, the company started facing problems from Maratha, who were aiming to rule over India through Delhi, which was taken as the seat of power in India. Marathas were divided into many states under different chiefs, and these chiefs were such as the Sindhias, Holkars, Gaikwad. They were held in an alliance under the Peshwa Mahadaji. Sindhia and Nana Fadnavis were two famous soldiers and statesmen of that period. The company had to indulge in a war with the Maratha to curb down their increasing power. So there were a number of wars fought between the Marathas and the Britishers. The Second Anglo-Maratha War resulted into the British gaining control over Orissa, north of Yamuna, including Agra and Delhi. The Third Anglo-Maratha War was totally crushed the power of Marathas, and ultimately the Britishers were able to set up their supremacy on whole India. Then the British paramount power, or the claim to paramountcy. So what is this paramount power? East India Company, under the leadership of Hastings, who was the Governor General of India during 1813 to 23. He initiated a policy of paramountcy, means supreme power. Under this process, the annexation of Karnataka state, especially the Queen of Kittur, led an anti-British resistance movement, though she was finally arrested in 1824. And from the north side, Russia was also giving the tough competition to the company. For this, it tried to secure the northwestern frontier of India by fighting a long war with the Afghanistan and establish an indirect rule there. Later on, it took over the Sindh, Punjab, and so on. They also use another method of annexation in the form of the policy of doctrine, or the doctrine of lapse. We will see in the next slide. What is this doctrine of lapse? Yes, this type of annexation took place under the governorship of Lord Dalhousie. Under this doctrine, any Indian king who does not have any natural male heir or successor had to give away his territory to the Britisher. It means if they don't have their own son, their territory has to annex with the Britishers. With this policy, the company took control over Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Jhansi. And Jhansi, all you know, is famous for its brave queen, Rani Lakshmi Bai. She was the widow of Raja Gangadhar Rao. Jhansi was also annexed by the Britishers. Such incidents led to the revolt of 1853. 7. As the company had gained the control over almost whole of India, had now become the political master of India. Is that clear? And it means slowly they acquire the power and start ruling over India. For this, setting up a new administration. Then, when they got the political power, they set up a new type of administrative system. And the first Governor General of Bengal was Warren Hastings. An interesting fact about him is that he wrote introduction to the first English translation of the Gita. You know Gita, na? Mahabharat. Gita is the part of Mahabharat, written by Rishi Vedvyas. So here the translation of Gita was done by Charles Wilkins. Hastings divided administration into three presidencies. And which are these three presidencies? Bombay, Madras, and Bengal. He also codified laws with the help of Hindu Pandits and Muslim Muftis in order to do justice as per the prevailing laws in India. He also set up criminal code and the civil court and also collectors to collect a revenue and maintain law and order in the district. The Britishers were done with both annexation and administration of the Indian territories. Now they need the army, new modernized army. So they brought some changes in army also. So what were these changes and new setup in army? The company army, the new British administration brought some new ideas of administration. But like any administration, the power of the Britishers were also dependent on strong army. Means you cannot imagine any state without a strong army. So they started recruiting Indian peasants and workers to their own army. Like that means बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से like the Mughal army has composed of sawars means घुड़सवार and paidal means foot soldiers. British army also had cavalry consisting of both sawars and paddles who were trained in archery and sword fighting. But with the passage of time, new warfare techniques were introduced, such as muskets means heavy guns and matchlocks means gun ignited by a match. Those are arose a need of developing new techniques among the Indian soldiers with uniformity and discipline, which sometimes which sometimes was against the community feelings of the Indian sepoy. This created a kind of discontent among the Indian soldiers, which later on become one of the major region of means Karan of revolt of 1857. And thus, after going through the content of this chapter, I hope that all of you are able to understand the chapter well. कि how a company known as East India Company entered in India in order to trade and finally gained over the territories of India and became a master of our country. That's all in this chapter. After this, I will give you some questions. Yes, students, all of you know that today your practice revision test is there. So all of you are requested to send your answers in PDF form. All the class teachers had already sent this information. Thank you. Have a nice day.